Hi, everybody. In theory, we're live right now.
Just give it a couple seconds, let it all catch up.
Oh, of course. Well, you moved my mic, man. You throwing me off.
Move it around however you need, so it's kind of
fine. God, that's fine. Can you guys hear me? Is this clear? So what we're gonna do, provided this is clear, is hi everyone. We're doing a live stream. I'm up in Canada, Cambridge specifically, near Toronto, hanging with this dude.
Yeah.
Shane Lewis, RerezTV. I'm sure a lot of you guys know who he is. We have a tradition of kind of doing that, of just doing live streams. Unfortunately, Scott the Canadian, the ruler of Canada, was busy with dictatorial duties. He could not join us. Shit happens.
Killing peasants.
Yeah,
just
no,
the whole weekend.
That's how Canada's
quiet,
population stays down, despite it being like such a big physical. He's like basically Thanos here, but he goes like 90% levels.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm keeping the population under control. That's
some say it's too much. Some say it's aggressive, but
yeah. Some have called him a very cruel and brutal dictator, but at the same time, everybody's got health care. So like, what are you gonna do?
We just don't question him.
Yeah, you can't question Scott, otherwise you die.
That's basically it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. So sorry, in true Canadian fashion, just sorry. So anyway, what we're gonna do is, it seems like we're fine because nobody's saying can't hear you or any of that type of shit. So we're going to Scott's in the chat, by the way. He can attest to all the cruelty that he exhibits throughout the world. So we're going to just a Q&A. So you just hang out, chat with us, and we'll talk about stuff. Just so you guys are aware, we're doing a little bit of a Twitter giveaway tonight. There's a tweet in the description of this video. If you click on that, if you follow me, you follow him, and you follow Marseille Inc., they're the guys who make the M cable, which is right here. We're going to be giving one of these away. The M cable company, or Marseille Inc., is going to ship this out directly to the winner. But you have to like the three companies, if you want to call us companies. I guess we're not really companies, but you get what I'm saying. Like those three entities, and then retweet the tweet, and you're entered. And then a winner will be drawn later and contacted to ship that out. But we'll remind you from time to time. But again, the link for that's in the description. So with that, just feel free to ask questions, whatever. If you feel like donating, which is 100% optional, take Super Chat, and we take PayPal. The link to the PayPal should also be in the description, I believe. Just begin the questions. Donations, again, voluntary, but if you do it, you get higher, you just immediately get your answer, your question answered. So, we're trying to tinker with the size of the text. Hey, Castlemania Games is here. What's up, man? What's up, Ryan?
Hey, Ryan, how are you, man?
Shane looks chill. Adam looks uncomfortable. No, I feel fine.
That's factual. That's what that is.
I'm good, man.
All right.
I am very chill.
I got the laptop out, so I'm not gonna miss anything this time. I've got everything. All the messages.
Handle it. Pick something.
Pick something.
Pick questions. There's a good question for you. Have you tried that?
Does Anthem suck?
Yeah. I haven't played it, so I don't know.
I haven't played Anthem.
Well,
that's unfortunate, but yeah, it's like one of the hot games right now. Hot garbage fires. Oh no, but I mean, like, everybody's basically saying that it's got problems. It's unfortunate because I'm a big fan of BioWare, and I'm really excited I was excited to play their next game, but this one didn't really speak to me too much, unfortunately. Okay. So.
It was great seeing you guys at the swap meet today. Oh, yeah, so you want to tell that story?
Yeah, so we went to a swap meet in Guelph, Ontario that just happened. I wasn't even aware that it was going down, and then I found out last minute, and went, and it was fun. Yeah,
literally last minute last night, we were like, oh, there's a swap? Cool. Like, that was not a plan. I got one thing, and my buddy bought a ton of stuff that I was just helping him do. Unfortunately, I don't have any of that stuff with me, but you'll see, at least my item, you'll see at some point in the future.
I bought something. I bought a wireless 60. That's what I bought.
Do you have it on you?
The box is over there. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. So you guys may not know this about him. That's like one of his most infamous videos is on these like essentially Wii clone consoles that existed around that time, and he made some really great videos about it. And we found one today. Here, I'll hold it for you. And he bought it. This is a shitty-ass Wii clone. What am I saying it for? This dude can describe it infinitely better than anyone else on the planet.
This is the white variant, so I picked up another one just because. Yeah, just because. I'll probably learn to regret that later on.
That's all right.
CJ1999 said, greetings from Cambridge, Ontario.
That's where we are.
Yep.
Where can you get the Sega jacket? It's actually Sega hoodie. Sega gave me this hoodie.
So you can't get it.
Yeah, it's actually a Sega Europe employee hoodie, which is why it's like for a thin person, why I don't fit in it. But fuck it, I'm wearing it anyway. I don't care.
I am very excited for the possibilities of I guess likelihood of Shenmue 3 being delayed into next year.
I can't imagine they would delay it at this point. Like, they have a concrete release date at this point. I mean, because the original release date for that was like sometime in 2017. And I was all about, like, take your time, get it done. And the fact that they actually have an actual date, I can't imagine they delay it for any reason.
No, I can't see that happening.
Yeah, we'll get a lot more information next month because Magic Monaco's happening, and they're going to unveil a whole bunch of stuff there. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing all that stuff.
Shane, any more planned Player Pass episodes? Well, we'll do more Player Pass episodes when there's games that have come out that we want to play or pass. That's how it's going to work in the future. Basically, it's just we're just looking for more games, like newer titles to play and stuff like that. And with that series, we need to make sure we've played enough of the game so we can give you a good opinion on it, because I hate when somebody plays a game for like 5 minutes, or, yeah, whatever, and they make a whole review, and it's like, well, that's not right. Like, you can't judge a game based off that. So, yeah.
Wasn't it December 2017? To be fair, anytime they're unsure of a release date, they make it December as a placeholder because it's the end of the year, so it allows for the maximum amount of time within that calendar year. Which is why a lot of games on Amazon, when you pre-order them, they always say, oh, it comes out on like December 31st of that year. Which,
out of the both of you, who drinks more alcohol?
I don't drink ever.
Neither do I. So that would
never,
be.
Have you had alcohol before?
I have to imagine at some point I accidentally drank mouthwash once. Like I was
with the alcohol kind.
Yeah, I swallowed it by accident while I was swishing and it sucked. And like
When was this?
I don't know. It was like I coughed when I was gurgling once.
Yes, but when?
I don't know.
Are we talking like a year ago? Are we talking 10 years ago? What are we talking about?
Like years ago, yeah.
I guess it would have to be me if like his thing is mouthwash. Because the last time I had any alcohol ever was on a very stupid, I guess it wasn't that stupid, but like a financial bet. We were doing a live stream once and on my other channel on Game Society. And when we were doing this thing, we were talking about drinking this drink called Malort, which is a really disgusting thing that Aaron and Emery drink a lot. And somebody, I joked about like, oh, fine, I'll do a shot for $1,000. And then all of a sudden $1,000 came in. I was like, fuck, I have to actually do this now. And the thing about Malort is like everyone says it's like the worst drink on the planet. Like if you ever try it, you will like gag and want to throw up. But like 1 in every 48 people are like genetically immune from being able to taste it. Like you have that thing where you're like immune to that smell. Remember from?
Oh yeah, durian smells like caramel to me.
Yeah, apparently. Which is not. It smells like horse shit, but he's immune to it. I'm apparently that from Malort. Like if you try Malort, it tastes like warm water to me. And so my coworkers were pissed because they have to drink it like poison. Anyway, so that was the last time, but that was like well over a year ago.
Yeah, I mean that's it's unfortunate. Like I really couldn't give you an exact date, but I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. I just accidentally coughed while gurgling mouthwash and then swallowed a mouthful of it, and it was every bit of disgusting as you can imagine. Prior
to that, for me, it would have been New Year's Eve 2006. A friend of mine named Paul talked me into, for some reason, taking 1 shot of vodka on New Year's Eve. I don't know why I did it. That was it. So we don't drink. It's just not our thing. Like it doesn't attract us. We're not interested to it. It's what it is. What we're trying to say is we're better than you. Adam, are you going to comments made by RerezTV do not reflect that of Figured Out Productions. Adam, are you going to get the analog Mega Drive? No, I'm not planning on it. Really? Really? No. I thought you would have got that. Why? Well, I mean, like, it's for one, that company, for those of you that don't know what it is. To be fair, I know what he's talking about. Like, that's going to be a high-end product. It's not your usual AtGames Genesis Flashback clone piece of shit. I get that. Yeah. But I already have, like, the original hardware, FrameMeister, RGB compliance. Like, I don't really need another way to play the Genesis. I get that. I really like Analog's products. I'm going to say something bold here. Analog makes the best retro video game FPGA systems I've ever seen across the board. They are the best, one of the classiest companies. Yep. Their design, their aesthetic, their attention to detail is insane. Like, everyone else is working at 100%. They're working at 500%. Like, I have no idea how they do it. The Analog
Mega Drive or whatever they're going to call the Mega SD, whatever it is, that system looks phenomenal. And what I'm to understand, according to our other friend Adam, Adam from Hot Take, he mentioned to me that it runs Sega CD. And for that alone, to be able to play some games on there would be amazing.
You're not thinking like the poly...
Sorry?
Snatcher in HD?
Yeah,
Snatcher in HD.
There you go.
You're not talking about the Polymega, are you?
No.
Because that's the one that's CD based.
We're talking about the...
With ROMs.
No.
ISO dumps. No?
You'll be able to plug your region or your Model 2 Sega CD into.
Oh, okay. I get. All right, that's neat. He's saying that. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but you can plug that into a Sega CD, which is pretty neat. I did not admit to underage drinking because this is funny. The booze that Paul bought, he and I had driven up to here, where the drinking age is 2 years younger.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. So I was legal here.
But it was illegal back home.
Which didn't matter.
So do you think Nintendo should release a new console, not handheld, around the same time as the new Xbox, PS5,
Nope.
to stay competitive? The current Switch will really struggle with any future ports.
I'm going to go with nope. I mean, obviously, at least from all the stories we're hearing about Microsoft and their cooperation with the Switch, they are really going full force in this concept of we're not really competitors. You know what I mean? Like, why would they try to make newer hardware when Microsoft and them are going to be working together? Do not be surprised if you actually see the flip side of that eventually is Nintendo games popping up on Microsoft hardware.
Yeah, I mean... I'm going to be fair about this. I love Nintendo's concept with the Switch right now. It makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of good ideas about it. But knowing that the market is going full force into this one direction where they're going to start making much more complex and bigger hardware, it does worry me, the idea that maybe they're not going to be able to stay current with all the other systems that are being developed. So if we do start to see a lot of third-party games that are really exciting, I think that the chances of that running on the Switch are going to be heavily reduced. I mean, you and I were there when the Wii was out. You saw all these games being released on the PS3 and the Xbox 360, and they did not look the same way on the Wii.
100% correct.
I mean, a great example of this, and even companies that desperately wanted it, you'd get Ghostbusters on the PS3 and Xbox 360, and then the Ghostbusters on Wii looks like a cartoon.
Well,
like
it's a completely different game. It was also on the PlayStation 2, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a
that's true.
completely
That's true.
different game. That's a completely different game.
And see, back in those days, it's okay. That's actually something that he just mentioned. This is very important to run older games. The PS2 had such a huge install base. The concept of making a game that would run on the PS2 and the Wii, not that far off from each other. So the idea of making one of those games at that time and then releasing it on both systems made some kind of financial sense.
Yep.
The Switch now stands alone
Yep.
and is by no means ever going to match what the PS2 sold. I would hope so, but it's far out there.
It's
So
your phone, Mr. Unprofessional.
well, that's not me.
Whose is it then? Anyway, while you figure out if that's your
maybe
phone
it was
or not,
me.
we have a donation on PayPal. Thank you very much. From a Mitchell Lee Norwood. Hey, Adam and Shane, if you could have any game completely remade from the ground up, what would it be and why? Also, can you choose the developer? I extremely enjoy both of your videos. Adam, your Generation Recap videos are amazing. Thank you for making them. Well, thank you for watching them. Any game completely remade from the ground up.
Snatcher.
Yeah, you would say that, Mr. I have a giant Snatcher poster in there. I know everybody's going to think, oh, you mean Shenmue? He's going to talk about that shit again. No.
Never. No, I never.
No, I don't want
remade.
that.
Nope.
I don't want that.
Can I explain my
Of course
thing?
you can, of course.
Okay, Snatcher should be remade for a multitude of reasons. The main one being that it is on a platform that is restrictive to people actually being able to play it. That's why it should be remade.
Yep.
And there are aspects of it that, for legal reasons, they can't release because if you play the Sega CD version, the one that actually is in English, that one has a Sega CD in the game world. There are copyright issues. There's a bunch of things that go on with that game that prevent it from being released in today's marketplace. So that's why that happened that way. Shenmue has been released on multiple different platforms now. A new remaster has come out. And if you were to remake that, you would lose some of the core ideas and some of the philosophy what made that original game what it is. So transitioning that into modern hardware, taking with a 3D version of the game and moving it was the best idea. Trying to remake that is like trying to capture lightning in a bottle. You're never going to do it twice, and you're going to miss those subtle little details that were in the original game. They wouldn't be able to capture everything again.
This is such a tough call for me because it's funny because one of the ones I actually would have said, except it just happened obviously, was the Resident Evil 2 remake. Like for the longest time, I wanted that, and Resident Evil 3 remake is inevitable. 3 remake, I can't. There you go. That's the obvious way to call that. I guess I would go with Code Veronica. Maybe I just replayed that and I realized like that's the end of that era. Like I know you weren't super into the Resident Evil games, but there's the early batch are really cool like puzzle based survival horror. After Code Veronica, that kind of stops because 4 was a very different take on it while still good. 5 was not, and 6 was Michael Bay the movie, the game, whatever. 7 was cool, but a completely different type of thing. So to see it in more, I think I would go with Code Veronica just to kind of ground that out. That might be my thing.
Another question.
Or no, you know what? That comment right there just said everything. Silent Hill 1.
Okay.
Silent Hill 1 needs...
Fair.
Fair. I would have said Metal Gear Solid's in that group, except it kind of already got that with the GameCube version. Silent Hill 1. Yeah, I changed my answer completely. Silent Hill 1.
Adam, will you ever shave your beard?
No. However, I will. I do trim it. Although I did fuck up once. Like, bad. And actually, Scott, if you're watching, I owe you yet another apology for this. And I've apologized to him many times for it. So there was this one time... I was going to do a live show, right? And my beard was too, like, puffy. And I was like, I'm going to go out and, trim it a little bit. So I go to get a beard trim. And I'm about to do it. And I was like, yeah, I showed her a photo. I was like, I kind of want it like this because beard trims are cheap and I don't have good equipment. So it's like, okay, fine. And she just goes like this and just, like, shaves off, like, almost all of it. I was like, no, like I went back to like not having facial hair. So I had to cancel the stream because could you imagine, guys, if I walked in a stream like just beardless?
Yeah.
It's like, hey guys, we're gonna talk. What the fuck? Who is this?
Well, if they did it on that side, you just do the whole stream from that side.
No, hey guys, we're gonna talk like I'm on a quarter the whole time. No, she did the whole thing. So, and then because I grow facial hair really quickly, like after like a week and a half, I was back to normal. But yeah, so I still apologize because the reason I apologize to Scott is he actually canceled his plans that night. He was going to do a live stream with me over Skype and we're just going to chat with everybody. And I was like, yeah, man, 100% this is happening. There's no reason it wouldn't. Didn't expect that.
Speedpunk just donated $5 and said, Adam, will they make a clone console that can play Sega CD games?
They have. It's called the Polymega. It's on its way.
Yeah.
In fact, that one's kind of cool because it's going to be doing a whole lot of stuff. That is actually one I will be getting, but we'll talk about that later.
And Tech Therapy just donated €5.
Is that not you, Ronald?
And Tech Therapy?
I think Ronald, you're Tech Therapy, right, Ronald? Sometimes he changes his name.
And he said, quick hello from far, far away. Donation is for the coffee fund.
That's got to be Ronald. Hi, Ronald. Thank you.
Jake Friedel just asked,
Jake's an awesome guy.
Rerez, when are you coming stateside to cast from Chicago? I guess the next time. I've never been to Chicago, and I really want to go.
Dude.
For pizza alone.
Dude, Jake, get this guy to the Missouri Game Con. I'll bring him in through Chicago. We'll do that, and then I'll force him to come down to St. Louis. It'll be great. Make him do that Midwest tour, man.
Rerez, 007, GoldenEye, N64, or Perfect Dark.
If you're the
sorry, he was adding at me so that you could.
Wait. So the question is, which one do I prefer?
Yeah,
GoldenEye, hands over fist.
Perfect Dark. Okay. GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64. If I'm going to pick any of them, and it doesn't matter what version I pick, Perfect Dark, Xbox Arcade Live version. Best version of the game. Amazing feature set. Wonderful frame rate. It is one of the best games on the platform, and it still stands out to this day.
There you go. We have a donation on PayPal from Joe Clancy who says, here you go, Adam. How has the closure of Machinima affected you? Since I recall you saying you have a partnership with them. Also, happy Adpocalypse 2019. By the way, thank you for that. I'm not going to go into details, but yes, it has affected things.
What are y'all
in a very bad way?
What are y'all gonna have for dinner? We had lunch, which is gonna be our dinner because it lasts for that long. We had Five Guys.
You did. I had sushi.
That's true. I should have had sushi.
Yeah, I had sushi.
Yeah. Five Guys is a
Five Guys burgers and fries. That's what he's talking about.
No, this is a thing. So I've never been to Five Guys before, and we got a bunch of them around here. So I went. We all went together, and this is excess. The restaurant, like, it's too much. I wanted just a regular burger, single patty burger, right? And the regular burger is 2 patties, right? So it's a heavy weighted thing. and it said like little, regular, or large fries. So I'm like, I'm going to get the little fry. I don't want that much fries, right? So what do? They give you a little cup of French fries, and then as they put your burger in the bag and the cup, they just throw more French fries in the bag. And I'm like, oh man, what is this? Value. My heart is stopping for every single fry I eat. It was insane. It was a lot of food. Really good, though. I'm surprised. I didn't know that chain tasted that way. If I had to pick, though, I gotta be specific about this. When I was in Washington, D.C. very recently, we went to I think we were somewhere around the White House area, and we actually got to have
The White House area.
the area around the White House.
No, I know, but it's funny.
National Mall. That's
Okay,
what I was
so
trying to
the
think.
thing with DC, because and forgive him, he's Canadian. DC downtown is very small.
Yeah.
Like really comically small
know.
because good.
That's why I said the White House
But
area.
the White House area, by any other definition, would be literally the
Well,
entire.
I was trying to say like around that area, National Mall area, down by the there's like a harbor front area, and we actually had burger Shake Shack there. And Shake Shack, for my money, is one of the best burgers I've ever had from any chain restaurant ever in a million years. It is fantastic. So yeah.
But yeah, like that whole city was designed back in the day when they like walked everywhere and had horses and shit. So like Congress is like right down the street from the White House. And so the idea was the president could just walk over there and make a speech and vice versa. Yeah.
It's a really nice place.
Yeah, DC is pretty cool actually.
What TV shows do you like from the 1990s or early 2000s?
No, Seinfeld probably been my favorite answer to that, or Futurama. Seinfeld for the 90s, Futurama for the aughts.
I mean, Simpsons.
I'm gonna give
is
Simpsons
more
technically it's
80s.
a 90s show. Technically,
Yeah.
It premiered on I believe it was Christmas Day 1989. So it technically, by one episode, is an 80s show.
Red Dwarf
Though I think
goes
Seinfeld
into the
technically-
90s.
Didn't Seinfeld start in the 80s too?
Red Dwarf, Bottom. I've been really enjoying watching some older shows that have like I'm just going back and watching shows like that. I really like I guess Ren and Stimpy was one of my favorite shows. Stuff like that.
Ren and Stimpy.
So yeah, there's quite a few shows. Like I love a lot of cartoons and TV shows, UK television shows. Cowboy Bebop is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. So yeah, there's a whole bunch there. Adam and Shane, N64, PS1, or Sega Saturn, if you had to pick one, I guess.
One for all time. Well, it'll shock you. It definitely would not be Saturn.
No,
I wouldn't. It would not be Saturn.
No. If we spoke Japanese, that might be
Then
different.
yeah, that's a different case, but we don't. Yeah, that's one of those things. Like every other day, whenever you ask, I'm either going to say N64 or PS1. I think today I'm feeling N64.
I'd go PS1.
But of course you would.
Yeah.
But tomorrow my answer could very well change.
My answer today, my answer tomorrow, my answer for every single day is going to be
fair,
PS1.
man.
Yeah.
But part of the problem with that is, like we were just talking about, like some of my favorite titles on PS1 are like Metal Gear Solid, which I wouldn't play that particular version anymore.
Sure.
If something like Silent Hill was taken away from remake form, that would weaken that argument. N64 is still, at least from the first party Nintendo stuff, is mostly exclusive content.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know. It's like tomorrow I'm gonna be like, why did I say that? Because PS1, Toast Metal 2, yeah, whatever.
How I'm framing this is I have to choose between one of these three systems, and that's the only system I can
I
play.
understand the
It
question.
becomes PS1. I couldn't change that no matter what, because there's just
understand.
the library on there is just far too wide.
Yeah,
right?
but you're also true. But you're also claiming to have full access to that entire library.
Sure.
All right, if we're changing the framing of that question to that, then I'd probably agree.
Okay. That's how I see it.
Fair enough.
Hey everyone, OSSC guy who asked about that a lot here. Will Rerez come to Retro World Expo? Also, will you be getting the SD2 SNES Pro? SD2 SNES Pro? Is there a Pro version? I didn't know.
Yeah, it just happened. I don't know anything else about it. I
Oh.
just know it just launched.
I'll take a look. I didn't know that was happening. Retro World Expo is in Connecticut, right? I don't know if I will be able to go this year. We're in this weird spot with Rerez where we're trying to make a lot of new content and stuff. So it's kind of like this growth period right now. So it's hard for me to just leave the studio. But I do want to go to Retro World Expo at least once in the next year or two. So I'm hoping I can
We
do
have
it.
confirmation that two things. One, Seinfeld did start in the 80s, and that, yes, that was Ronald.
Okay, cool. Rerez, any more worst console ever episodes planned? Oh yeah. So this is our studio here. We've got a room back there just filled with worst console fodder. We have like one of them looks like a penguin. It's like a penguin video game system. It's going to happen eventually. We just got so much stuff. So yeah, it'll happen.
So we got a donation from Arnie Ortel. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Have you heard about the DC HDMI mod for Sega Dreamcast? An HDMI mod that allows you to run Dreamcast games in native 480p, upscale to 960p, and 1080p, 980p with borders, or 960p with borders. Are you going to cover it? Keep Dreaming episode. Do you think it's better than the Akura or the Gecko by BBS, Bahar Bros? Here's a link to the DC shop. Yes, I'm aware of it. I used it very briefly in the UK. But it wasn't really, it was like an open like convention type of environment. So it's not really the best way to try it. If I had one, I would most certainly do a video on it, but I simply do not at this time. And even if I were to get the board myself, I lack the skills to install it, but I would very much like to do it. So there you go. Thank you for the donation.
I'm glad you guys like Hot Take. Yeah, that's we've been working on that show to kind of like what really sucks about YouTube is we don't want to make the main Rerez channel this show that's just constantly telling you about new news and then featuring like stuff like worst ever. So we have the second channel so we can talk really quickly about something. We actually have a room in the studio that's just set up basically just to do Hot Takes. So we just run in there and shoot stuff when we need to. Yeah, a couple people are saying how much they like Bottom. I know it's weird to hear someone that's like Canadian or just from North America that likes that show, but I grew up watching a lot of late night British television, and the first time I caught Bottom, I never saw it before. I didn't know what it was, and I instantly fell in love with the characters that Rick Mayall and Adrian Edmondson were playing. And it was amazing because when I was younger and I saw that, I had actually seen the young ones like a couple months before. So I thought the young ones was new, and then suddenly there's this show that took place like 20 years later, and they're all older, and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So yeah, Bottom, for those of you that don't know, is like one of these like best British comedies ever made kind of thing. So yeah. If you wanted to buy only some of the season of The Simpsons, would you just purchase the seasons that premiered in the 90s?
Well, the premise of the question is if you only wanted to buy some of them.
Yep.
But I don't agree with that premise because I'm fine with having all of them.
I actually have purchased all of the seasons of The Simpsons I want, and we purchased up until I forget which season. I think it might be 7 or 9.
I think you said 7 last night.
7? Yeah. I think it's
oddly this conversation actually happened last night.
Yeah. We did buy a bunch of seasons, but like it's this one. There's a one part where The Simpsons stops, in my opinion, stops being very funny. In the traditional way that they were writing jokes. So that's like the last season I bought, and I'm fine with that. If I ever catch the newer seasons, it's cool. I could watch them, but those original episodes are just like are dynamite, and
you're
they
talking
have
about
the best
Simpsons
writers.
Mania era. Everyone kind of says that the show stopped being interesting around season 7, and most people say, I think it was season 8 specifically, an episode called The Principal and the Pauper.
Yes, exactly.
That's the episode that most people say killed the franchise, but even though it went on for another 20 plus years and still just got renewed for 2 more seasons, most people seem to say that's the episode that broke it or jumped the shark, as it were. I'm not sure I personally agree, but again, I say that without having actually sat down and watched the last like 10, 15 seasons. So it's kind of, there's probably a reason for that criticism that goes beyond just we're tired of the same characters.
Yeah. What is a popular Canadian snack? Timbits?
Ew.
Well, they are popular.
True.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm not really the right one for that type of question either because...
they're like munchkins at Dunkin' Donuts. That we just call them Timbits here.
Yeah.
And
A lot of people are asking about the Reggie thing. You want to talk about that?
sure. One sec, you got a question. Are you going to get Dead or Alive 6?
Probably eventually. What I learned, as much as I love the Dead or Alive games, what I learned from Dead or Alive 5 is just wait forever. Because they just keep re-releasing it with all this shit.
Joe Bigelow just donated $5.
Thank you.
And asked, hi, Adam, what do you think about the upcoming Panzer Dragoon 1 and 2 remakes?
I think that's really unconfirmed. But to be fair, man, like, we don't know if those are remakes. We don't know if they're ports. We don't know enough about it. So I'll rephrase that as, am I excited about the concept of Panzer Dragoon coming 1 and 2 coming back in some form? Short answer, yes. It would be nice to have that more available to people. Although Panzer Dragoon 1 isn't that hard to do, especially because Panzer Dragoon Orta for the original Xbox, which is Xbox One compatible and 360 compatible, has Panzer Dragoon 1 on it. So really the prize there is Panzer Dragoon 2. Or 2. Well, it's actually called that. It's not like
I know,
dropping another term for no reason.
Shane, any more positives or negatives episodes planned? Well, you're in luck. We've been keeping this not really super quiet, but the next positives episode is probably going to be airing sometime at the end of this week. We've been working on it for a really long time, and we've got like a set built for it and everything. So it's going to be a thing. It's different. It's not like the original series. I mean, it still is, but you're going to like it. I think this is the best positives ever been, so I'm very excited to share that with everybody.
While he's looking for something else, just a reminder, everybody, there's a tweet link in the description if you want to check that out. Click on it. We're doing a contest to give away an M cable.
Yep.
Straight from the company, Marseille Inc. All you have to do is follow me, follow him, follow them, retweet, and you're entered to win one of these, and it would ship straight from there.
So, just so you guys know about this cable, Adam brought it over, and we were plugging it up to a bunch of stuff. So, if you have a console that has HDMI out and it runs at 480p, you can get like the cleanest looking image out of this. It's insane.
Like the GameCube with the GCHD, Dreamcast with the Bahar Bros like box, like the Gecko. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that before in my life. It was incredible. Like it actually like it is. This is just a normal cable. This is just like a nice like.
It's not like a high end like monster cable. Like they put this anti-aliasing processor in it and stuff on that side.
Yeah,
and, yeah. It's particularly for 480p content is unreal.
Yeah, it cleans up jagged edges on like 480p content. It's nuts.
Yep.
That shouldn't work, but it totally does.
So point is, you can win one if you want to. Just again, links in the description. We have a super chat if you want.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that.
Hi, Adam. Looking forward to Switch Year 2 video. What's the name? Sorry, I missed the name on that. Can you?
That is Timor.
Timor.
Who we saw at the store.
Well, based on the currency he's paying in, I don't think so.
Oh. Tihomir Simon.
DKK. Sorry, I don't know what. Donkey Kong Country? No.
Jeez.
It's
I think
wrong.
that's correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that is
I'm usually pretty good with foreign currencies, but that one I don't
Norwegian,
know.
No?
That would be kroners.
Kroners. Okay.
I don't know what DKK is, but either way, thank you. And to answer that statement, yes, I will be doing that. So thank you very much for watching it.
Okay, we will talk about Reggie in a second. We got a couple more things to go through. Since you're such a big BioWare fan, have you played Star Wars The Old Republic?
I have not.
I've played a little bit of it. It's pretty neat, but I haven't beaten it, unfortunately. Do you guys think a Game Gear clone would be worthwhile?
Game Gear clone.
Yeah.
Theoretically, if it also supported Master System stuff, but then it would also have to be really kind of aimed more at the European market than the North American market. Yeah, in theory, if you made like a solid, more efficient Game Gear with a better screen and all that stuff, that took Game Gear carts as well as Master System carts, I'd say you could do well in Europe. I don't know about here, though.
Okay, because I can answer this, but I'm wondering if you can. What are your favorite Canadian TV shows?
I kind of liked Degrassi a little bit. What was that? SCTV?
SCTV? Okay.
Those are the only two I remember. Oh, well, I don't know if this counts, but Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I was going to say Are You Afraid of the Dark? Technically, Goosebumps was a Canadian show.
Okay. Depends on how you define. But here's the problem with that question, though. It depends on how you define it. Because one of my favorite shows of all time is Smallville. 100% of that was made here.
Yeah.
100% of that was shot in Canada using Canadian crew. For some of the actors were American, like Tom Welling, but a lot of that stuff was all Canadian, but made with American money, therefore an American show.
True.
So, Are You Afraid of the Dark? The reason I said does it count is because Nickelodeon picked that up. They're not Canadian, but was it produced by a Canadian company originally?
Yeah.
So there is a bunch of like oddities in that.
Okay, Trailer Park Boys, easy. Fantastic show. The earlier seasons before the original creator left are some of the best episodes of television I think you can watch. It's really fun. Letterkenny is amazing right now. It is fantastic. And a super underrated show that everyone should be watching, Nirvana the show, or Nirvana the band the show. Unbelievable how good this show is. It has got to be one of the funniest shows I've ever seen, and it's just so good. And I'm going to show you the first episode tonight. You're going to love this thing. It is just amazingly well made.
By the way, at some point, we have a tradition. I guess it's the tradition now. Is that since I venture around, I love to pick up stuff for this dude. And so I've got like a suitcase with stuff this time, just like last time. But last time it was excessive. There was way too much stuff in there.
Oh, sorry, and corner gas. Yes. Sorry, somebody's. If I don't mention corner gas, I'm going to get screwed.
Yeah, your
screamed at.
citizenship will be.
Yeah. My wife and I actually went to go see the cast of Corner Gas do a script reading live. It was amazing. It was the animated show, but it's still one of the coolest things ever. Amazing show, very well made.
But yeah, I'm gonna give him stuff in a bit, but we'll wait on that for a little bit.
Okay, let's talk about Reggie. It's finally time. Okay, all right. So Reggie Fils-Aimé is by far one of the most important things to have ever happened to Nintendo of America.
Yep. He kind of revitalized the GameCube a bit. I don't know how much he had to do with the Wii, but he definitely made the money out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know what his involvement essentially was with the Wii U, but like who do you pit the Wii U on? That's the weird thing about the Wii U is that you can only look at it as the dark horse like of failure, other than the Virtual Boy, which I don't count because it was technically a handheld platform. But the Wii U, despite not doing well, was awesome. It was actually a really great console. Yeah. So you can't even, I hated the Wii, but it sold well. The Wii U I loved, sold like shit. So, yeah.
Okay. The way I see what Reggie brought to the table is there was marketing. Okay. For the longest time, Nintendo felt like a faceless corporation. Now, understand that back in the older days, we had Nintendo Power magazines, and there were certain people in those companies that had like some kind of face to them and stuff.
Yep.
There was people that ran Nintendo who were important to the company, and earlier in the 90s and before, the concept of what a video game company was, generally you didn't hear about the people that were making all the decisions. When Reggie came on board, he was a very vocal presence that thrived with discussions and engagement with the audience, and I think that that's something you didn't see at the time. We're seeing a lot of CEOs kind of try that now. I mean, it's the same thing you would have seen with Apple.
Sure.
Like Steve Jobs really was a face for the company, and I feel like Reggie was the exact same way. And I believe that, and let's make no mistake about it, I think Nintendo's in a good position, and I think having Reggie willingly leave, right? Like he's not leaving because he got fired or anything like that. It shows a good sign that he believes he's done well enough for the company to move on. The shoes that Bowser has to fit.
I love that. I mean, let's talk about that.
It's so amazing.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah. But Doug Bowser is going to be the new vice president, or the new
He's president now.
President.
Dude, I remember when he became vice president and that joke started, and everybody forgot about it.
Yeah.
We'll get back to it.
Doug Bowser has such a role to fill. He needs to be engaging with the viewers and the consumers. Understand, when he's talking to us gamers, and he's telling us about something like Reggie has been in the past, he's not just talking to us. He has to be talking to investors of the company to ease their worries and to build hype for them so they can understand that what they're doing is good for the future. So it's a very difficult balancing act. And on top of that, not all the choices for the company are made in North America. In fact, I would argue a bulk of everything, 90% of the choices, are made in Japan.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so it's about finding the choices that are made in Japan and translating that for North America to understand. It's a very difficult job, and it can be held really and done really well, or it can be done really poorly. So I'm very excited to see what happens next, though, because maybe he becomes even better than Reggie was.
So, just so you guys know, Japanese companies tend to be really weird with their American divisions, or international divisions, I should say. Typically, a Japanese company is very controlling and very myopic in how they handle things. They're very focused on their way. So a lot of the time, they will, if to a local, like Nintendo of Canada, Nintendo of America, they'll give them a specific task and generally not give them sufficient tools to perform that task, and then blame them for not being able to complete that task. For Reggie Fils-Aimé to have been there since 2003 and accomplished what he did, just from the inside perspective, is insane. That he was actually able to do it that well. So, I mean, that's one of those things you learn working more with companies like that. You'll realize that, and you'll be like, damn, okay, that was impressive, because they don't really last that long, man. Like, CEOs of Japanese companies that are the American divisions don't typically hold out that long. He was there for, 2003?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there for quite some time, and I don't think he's being kicked out. I think he's just like, I'm done. I've got mine. I've done my part. I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't, I think he's he's pretty much stated he's retiring. But if you do happen to see him in some other industry, it's gonna be it's gonna be crazy, and it's probably not gonna happen for a number of years, because no doubt in my mind that leaving the company means he has to sign a non-disclosure agreement or a non-complete cause or complete cause. So it's gonna be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But
let's talk about the name of Bowser.
Yeah,
By the way.
Doug Bowser.
Come on, like that's amazing. That one photo of him going around like holding up like the thing, being like, "Thank you for welcoming me" or whatever he says. I just love the fact that behind him there's Mario and Luigi bound up. Have you seen that?
Yes, I have.
It's hilarious.
Yep.
It's like you want to believe that was unintentional, but how could it be?
I can't imagine. That name is so perfect for that role. I'm so curious to see how he interacts and how he projects things in the future.
Yeah.
It's going to be important. He's going to be a very important staple of the company.
Does he own the fact that that's his name, or do we just pretend this is a coincidence?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I hope Bowser isn't camera shy. I think we all hope that. Like I said, it's important that he kind of interacts with people and talks the way he does. Let's see. Add more Xbox 360 games on Xbox One backwards compatible list.
I don't.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought he was telling us to do that.
No. I just want that though.
I
want more.
I want more original Xbox.
Yeah.
Where the hell is that?
I think the problem with that is some of those games are much older, so the licenses start to have
I know
issues.
why that is, but it's like, come on, man. Come up with something. There's definitely companies there that will work with you. Ubisoft will work with you. Sega will work with you. They own those things for the most part, lock, stock, and barrel. I think most of those companies would work with you. It's only the weird ones where you don't know who owns them now. And some of those even got through the cracks. Like a lot of THQ stuff, they don't even really exist anymore, and their stuff got on there. LucasArts doesn't exist, but a lot of their stuff got on there. And then some oddballs, like there's a PAL exclusive that got on there.
Yeah.
Which I have Panzer Elite Squad, and then a North American exclusive, King of Fighters, I think NeoWave got on there. It's just weird.
Do you guys? We didn't go to SoCal Retro.
That's Fox, by the way.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we didn't go to a SoCal Retro.
No,
unfortunately.
that's down in LA. I'm actually going to LA next week for a Shenmue thing with Corey Marshall. You should go if you guys are anywhere in Los Angeles. Come on out. We're gonna do a big fan meetup with him, Liesel, who is the voice of a few of the characters, and then I'll be there helping to host and stuff. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna do some giveaways too. Mario
Maker 2 is going to be an interesting experience on the Switch.
Okay, so I got to admit, I'm surprised that Mario Maker 1 did not get ported to Switch. That really stunned me.
Yeah.
That they went straight to a sequel, because they pretty much picked clean like everything else from the Wii U legacy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's because they were doing this sequel this entire time, but I guess one of the biggest issues is trying to convert that game to the Switch means you have to do a lot of changes in the way that you interact and build stages.
Mm-hmm.
So without that touch, I mean, you got the touch screen if you're going portable. So we'll see how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested, but we'll see. Adam, I'm going to Japan next week. What stores have the cheapest games?
Book Off and Hard Off. I've done a bunch of videos on them. Here's the problem with that is a lot of people, I don't know where you're going in Japan, but a lot of people will be like, oh, I'm going to Tokyo, so I'm going to go to Super Potato and Akihabara because that's like the big thing I know. And you'll go in there and be excited by all the stuff you see, but understand that it's just barely better than eBay prices because they know you're the gaijin foreigner who's supposed to be there to buy that shit because the locals don't. So what you want to do, and it might be more intimidating, is you want to find book offs and hard offs outside of the city. You know, the places the locals would go on trains. It's not as intimidating as you think. The Japanese train systems are amazing. Get yourself a Passmo card, fill it up with Japanese yen. It's the best. You just use that, scan it, go on in, take the train system. Google Maps is your friend. You're going to want to go out and find hard offs and book offs, especially hard offs. Those are the best. And you'll see soon because, surprise, there are spoilers. Something's coming.
I just hope that whenever he makes an appearance, this is what Fox said, I just hope that whenever Doug Bowser makes an appearance, they play background music from Super Mario World's Bowser map. Honestly, Fox, it would be a mistake if they didn't do that.
Just own it.
Seriously?
Yeah,
I just want to hear his, like, I want him to have a theme.
Yep.
I want him to play into the name and let people trust him and just have fun with that, yeah. Speedpunk said, Wood and the rest of the Game Chasers were there. Kind of mad I didn't go. Otis, SoCal. Yeah.
A lot of people were there.
Yeah, a lot of people did go. Unfortunately, we didn't go.
Yeah, neither of us went.
For me, it's like it's a different country, so it can be an issue because the flights can be a lot more expensive. And then, like I said, we're doing things. Like, believe me, you may not have seen us this weekend there, but trust me, what's gonna come this week is gonna be well worth the wait. We've been doing this for like months and stuff, so it's been a lot of time has been put into this episode.
You didn't see me there either, but if you're in LA, you will see me there next week. Like I said, there's a fan meetup. It's at Game Realms. It's a store out in Burbank.
Yeah.
So if you're in LA and you're like, oh, I wish I'd gone to that, like, stick around. I'll be there next week.
I don't think Reggie even has a Twitter account. I highly doubt he'd make a YouTube channel. Reggie plays video games a lot, though. I don't think people realize that. He actually, from people I've spoken to that have worked at Nintendo, they've regularly talked about how he'd be playing like the latest releases on 3DS and Switch and talking with other people and like Treehouse and stuff about how the games are being developed. This is someone that actually did play video games, whether because there are some CEOs out there that go, why play video games? And then they never actually do. He literally did play video games regularly, and that's why he was so good at his job. So if you want to make a YouTube channel, I'd watch it, but I very much doubt he would.
I actually agree with that. Could you imagine if he wanted to, like, how popular his YouTube channel could be?
Oh, he would be bigger than PewDiePie.
He'd be huge.
Yeah.
There's some times where, like, this is kind of a weird example, but like it's funny how sometimes somebody like that could completely be amazing at a totally different role. So here's a random example that never happened, but it almost did. When Bill Clinton stopped being president, like in his first year, they were like wondering what he was going to do. This was before Hillary became a senator and all that stuff. He actually was in talks with NBC to become a late night host. Could you imagine that? Like how weird that would have been? And that probably would have been like huge and popular. It's the same type of thing. Like you just take someone who's really famous for one reason and shove them into a totally different medium. But while that sounds stupid, like putting Paris Hilton in a movie or something, there are situations where that's awesome. And I think Reggie Fils-Aimé having a YouTube channel or just games would be huge.
Yeah, I agree. Speedpunk asks, thoughts on Tom Holland playing Nathan Drake in the live-action Uncharted movie?
Is that a thing?
I've never heard of that. Is that real?
He seems a bit young.
Well, what is he, 20-something?
He's younger. Yeah, I mean, the whole point...
He looks younger than he actually is.
He was 18 when he did the first one.
No, he wasn't.
Pretty sure he was just 18. I think he had just turned... The whole point was to get a young kid that they could milk the shit out of forever.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. I definitely don't want Nathan Drake... You know, the problem is... we got the games, and if the movies are just going to feel like Indiana Jones, so there's got to be something about them that they make that stands out. So I'm hoping that there's an idea there, and it's not just using the name.
Probably is. I mean, that's one thing that I've never understood about Sony. So their film division has had so many massive problems. PlayStation division does amazing. You own a film studio. You own a video game company. You own rights to all these things. You guys should have been the thing that made video game movies good.
Yep. You
should have been that. And you had so many opportunities. You still do, and don't use them. It's really weird. And, you know, I know we're all like gamers, obviously. So we always think about like the idea of a video game movie, and generally they come back as just these horrible piles of shit movies. People forget, man, like prior to X-Men, with a handful of exceptions, you know, Batman, a couple of Batmans, a couple of Supermans, comic book movies were considered complete box office poison and just junk.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But X-Men changed everything. And now it's like the most legitimate genre there is. Video games are just waiting for someone to figure that out. And I'm telling you, someone in our age range is going to be the person to do that. Because video game structure, story structure, is very different from movie story structure. But when you have a generation that grew up on both, like he and I did, we understand both of those story structures really well.
Yep.
So when you get a director class like us, even though I'm not saying either of us specifically could do it, I'm just saying people who understand how to integrate both story structure types could make really good video game movies, as opposed to what we've had.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Do you like Earthbound Beginnings on the Wii U, and should it be ported to the eShop on Switch?
Never played it.
Neither have I, but yeah, any Earthbound anything being ported to the Switch is a good idea. Earthbound Beginnings, I believe, is it's the original Earthbound just being recreated. Yeah.
Mother.
Yeah. Mother on the Famicom, and it's just being on the Wii U. Let's see. What else do we have here?
You want to take a break and look at your stuff?
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right, so I'm going to give Shane some stuff now.
Okay.
It's not nearly as much stuff as last time. You don't need your special, like, secret hat. Although I did enjoy that.
I was wearing a mask so people could. I
you
couldn't
were wearing
see
the
what
Super
was
Mario
up.
Sunshine hat, or not the
Yeah.
Odyssey.
I'm still gonna do it just to try and
So,
guess
like I
what
said,
it is.
I have a habit of just bringing him weird things. But I have a habit of bringing him weird things from places. But since I was here not that long ago, it's not gonna be as good.
That's okay.
Setting the bar
I'm
low.
going to try and guess what they are without
Okay,
looking
all right,
at them.
we'll do that.
So we'll do that. Okay. Oreos.
Yeah.
Okay. Peppermint bark Oreos. Wow. Yeah, we don't have that here.
Yeah, so there's a few other ones lately. This dude's an Oreo fiend. There was a bunch lately, but they actually got them, like the carrot cake one. Is that good? Have you had that one?
Carrot cake one? Yeah, it tastes like carrot cake.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Spice cake.
Yeah,
Right.
so they've had a few recently, but I didn't think that you guys got this one, or if you obviously just missed it because you said you hadn't seen it.
No, we don't get all these flavors here at all.
Yeah, that's one of the best things about junk food in the U.S. is how many variations of weird stuff we get. But like some of them, you don't get that many options. Like the Japanese are nuts with how many they get. But Oreos is one of the few things where we actually probably get the most variations.
Cool.
Okay, we'll continue down this path.
All right. I'm going to guess a chocolate bar of some sort. Pocky. Oh, KitKat. Ooh, peach KitKat.
Peach KitKats from Japan.
Nice. KitKat in Japan has the craziest flavors ever. Okay, I'm definitely going to try that out. Really cool. All right.
All right, let's let's go with that.
Individual KitKat. And it is. Passion fruit?
This is from.
Passion
You remember
fruit.
last time I told you they have this thing called the Chocolatory series?
Yeah, yeah.
These are like crafted in front of you. Digest that for a second. Like if you go to they have like this own set of stores called the KitKat Chocolatory. Now, when you go to one, they have different flavors that day, and they'll have like a guy kind of make them right then and there. Now, unfortunately, this particular one did not come from that. These were like pre-made at an airport because let's be real. But that is a thing.
Cool. I like that. All right. Well, I'm just going to guess another KitKat. But,
Yeah, that's probably a safe bet for most of the time.
Tokyo banana.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that one I know you've had, and I know you like
Yeah,
that.
I like them. They basically taste like a... Okay, when you hear Tokyo banana and you think it's just going to be a banana KitKat, it's actually not a banana KitKat. It's the flavor of a snack food called Tokyo banana. So that's a Tokyo banana KitKat. So it's a KitKat that tastes like a snack food that sort of tastes like a banana.
It's good, though.
It is good. Okay. All right, another KitKat. I'm
Yeah,
going to
dude,
guess
just get used to
sake.
it. There's not really much of a point to guessing here.
Pistachio and raspberry? That's a weird flavor combination. Wow. Man, it's crazy. If you think that your country, unless you live in Japan, have a lot of interesting KitKat flavors, you ain't known Japan.
No,
Japan's
dude.
got the craziest going
And trust
on.
me, I get around. So, like, I pick them up, these weird flavors. Like, here's one from the UK. Here's one from wherever. Like, I never seen them before. Japan, nobody can touch them on the KitKats.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
All right, another one.
Dude, you don't even need to guess.
Yeah. Cheesecake. Strawberry cheesecake. Strawberry cheesecake flavored KitKat. So perfect. All right. Tokyo apple.
Shinzu apple. I think it
Shinzu
is.
apple. I've had these once before. They taste exactly like an apple. You might be saying to yourself, Shane, why not just eat a real apple?
Fuck you, it's fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to eat chocolate instead.
Yeah, what's wrong with you? Why would you
Jeez.
even bring that to his attention? Come on.
All right. What's this one? I don't know. Mochi?
Purple potato.
Purple potato? Really?
Purple potato.
Purple potato KitKat. All right. That is beyond me. I don't even know.
Are you showing him to?
Oh, well, yeah. It's like, this is really small to see, but yeah.
Fair enough.
That's crazy. Cranberries and almonds?
Cranberry almond chocolate Kit Kat.
I can't even. I mean, these are really tiny to show on the camera, but yeah.
That's true. Strawberry cranberry almond Kit Kat.
Wow. Okay. I didn't even know these flavors existed.
Yeah, how would you? Dude, one of my biggest regrets from there is this, like, the weird thing is you go in all these stores and it's not consistent. Like, one store will have like different type of Kit Kats than others just because it has to be that difficult and annoying. The one I regret not getting I was in Yokosuka once. I went in this little store, like a hole in the wall, and I think it was just older stock. I do not know how to describe this other than it was baseball flavored Kit Kats. There was no examples of fruit or anything on the box. It was just baseball.
We grind up the original American baseball and put it into little flavored packages.
I tried with my phone to see if it was just saying it was like a regular one.
What does that taste like? Sand and angst?
But it showed the pictures were like the Kit Kats were white. So it possibly was white chocolate. For some reason they put baseball on it, but the impression I got was it was baseball flavored, which could have meant like the psychological impact of being in a baseball game. Maybe it tasted like beer. I have no idea.
Beer, sweat,
sweat, and hot dogs and peanuts. I don't know, but I wish I had got it in hindsight.
All right.
Strawberry parfait. That one's not labeled.
Okay. Still
I
neat,
just remember it.
Strawberry parfait.
Very specifically, not strawberry. Strawberry parfait.
Very different. Neat.
All right. Let's go with a bigger one. Okay. This is some sort of like espresso one, and I know you're not big on coffee.
I do like coffee flavored things.
He does, but that's all right. So I gave one of those to my cousin too because he's just like you with the Kit Kat obsession, like lunacy.
Yep.
And he hates coffee. Hates the flavor of it. Hates it. He says this is one of the best ones he ever had.
There you go.
And he didn't understand how that was possible.
Is that better, everybody? You can actually see it now?
Yeah.
So it's espresso flavored Kit Kat. Okay. And I'll show off a couple of the other ones.
Go for it.
So this is the peach Kit Kat one, and this is the Tokyo banana one. So, yeah.
I think this is strawberry cheesecake and almond.
Okay. Strawberry. If someone can read Japanese, then they can actually make this.
Oh, I already gave you one of those. So here's another one as well. This is that same chocolate, cranberry, and almond one. I just gave you two of each. I think I gave it so you could have one and Robin could have one.
Yeah, that makes sense. There you go.
And let's go with this one.
Blueberry?
I don't remember.
I don't know. Blueberry Kit Kat, maybe? Unaware of what it may actually be, but hey.
Hey, apparently I'm a fat 12-year-old going on 40. Yeah, man, you're, yeah, he's not wrong. There you go.
Lemon?
I think so.
Okay. Lemon-flavored Kit Kat. I mean, have you guys ever heard of a lemon-flavored Kit Kat? That's a very Italian dessert idea right there. Because they use limoncello and stuff like that in their desserts. Neat. If it's not video games, folks, it's desserts for me. That's pretty much it.
We'll get to both, trust me.
Okay, that's definitely raspberry.
Yeah, hell yeah. But again, these are that Sublime series. So these are like the quote-unquote freshly made ones. Yeah. Like a higher quality of ingredients type of thing. Rather than the mass-produced one. That's why they're individually wrapped.
Okay, so that's strawberry.
Same thing, but with strawberry.
There you go. Focus
All right.
in.
So I'm about to give you the dud of the evening. I just had to do it just because you'd have to do it.
Okay.
This is peach sake.
Peach sake. So that's what that is right there. Come on, focus. Focus. Well, I assure you it just says sake.
This one, I think, is some sort of like mochi cookie. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mochi cookie. Oh, yeah. Okay, I've seen that before. Come on. It's struggling to focus, folks. If I can get it. There we go. All right.
This one is some sort of tea. I liked it. Some people ate it and described it as tasting like fish.
Okay. Well, that'll be a weird one to try.
I liked it though.
Fish or tea?
It is
Fish
tea,
or
but some
tea?
people said it tastes like fish.
All right.
This one's just weird because of what it actually is.
Are you serious? This is butter flavored Kit Kat.
It just tastes
It
like
just
butter.
it literally just says butter. I was like, why would you make a butter flavored Kit Kat?
I don't know.
All right.
I think you've had those before.
Oh, melon. Oh, they're
Hokkaido melon, so it's like a cream melon, but it's basically just cantaloupe.
Basically just cantaloupe, but still very, very good. What's this?
Tangerine, not orange.
Okay.
Tangerine. I had that one. It tastes like a an orange cream soda.
There's nothing wrong about that.
I
That
just letting
sounds
you know.
amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
This one was the hardest one for me to figure out because I bought a box of them, and there was no indication of what the hell it was other than this one picture on the back. And I tried to look into it, and it apparently is supposed to be some sort of traditional Japanese cake mix flavor. Not cake, cake mix flavor. I ate it, and it tastes like coffee.
Okay.
Don't ask me how that makes sense, but that's, I swear. So we got 2 more left. This is one of those packs. Open that up. It's got 3 different kinds inside.
Okay. So see that Sublime.
Yeah, that's that like fancy series. And
Oh,
they're
wow.
They're each yeah, see what the Japanese ain't playing, man.
These look like cigars. So each one is just a different
I
flavor?
think this is mochi. I think this is dark chocolate, and I think this is that ruby chocolate stuff. The new one.
Oh, yeah. There it is. Ruby. Bitter, matcha, and ruby. Yeah. So ruby has ruby is a new flavor of chocolate.
Like it's literally a new type of chocolate bean.
Yeah, yeah.
Cocoa bean.
So it's pink.
Yep.
Wow.
Tastes kind of like a mild raspberry. It's actually not that good. And then the last one is not a Kit Kat. It's supposed to be some sort of like double fudge Snickers. That's the other thing I like about doing stuff like this is you get American stuff like that that they get versions of that we never see. But that's it for the junk food. Here's a bag from Narita Airport. Help yourself.
Sure.
And then I got a couple of just random video game items.
I guess we just keep the camera here.
If you want to. This one is because this dude loves random controllers. This is from a Hard Off in Japan for a PS1. It's some sort of like gambling game controller.
Pachinko, right?
I don't know.
Maybe? I don't know. Well, yeah, actually.
Have fun with that.
Oh,
It's got a lot of buttons on it, so I figured if anybody could review a weird thing, it would be you.
That is definitely something else there. Wow. But it's got all the real buttons up here too, so you could actually still use it as a controller.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm curious to see what you can do with that if you ever do anything with it.
I don't know. What do you guys think? PlayStation 1 controller?
It's definitely PS1.
Weird? No. I mean, but is that not like the weirdest controller you've seen? That's not even a joystick. That just goes up and down. That's just... I mean, it's a joystick, I suppose.
Yeah.
A one-directional joystick.
The last thing I have for you is more of a donation for your show that you're going to be doing soon.
Okay.
More of a display piece, though I guess you could use it if you want to.
Okay.
This is, and everybody else is going to know what this is. This is just a Super Famicom. Okay, Super Fam. Do you know why this is special? I bought this at a Hard Off for 89 cents US.
Oh, man.
89 cents.
Just 89 cents?
89 cents, not even a whole dollar.
Jeez, they don't even care.
Yeah, they genuinely don't care.
That's perfect. This is great.
Yeah. There you go, man.
It's got a nice weight to it, too. I mean, for everyone that hasn't seen a Super Famicom before.
Yeah, it'll be a good thing to just put on as like a display piece, and that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think.
Awesome, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, my
for
pleasure. Anyway, so we go back to it. We're going back to questions. Reminder, if you do PayPal or Super Chat, we'll answer you right away, of course, as a courtesy to you. Completely voluntary. We'll still obviously answer questions without that. If you are just joining us, though, reminder, we're giving away an M cable tonight. There's a link in the description to a tweet that I made. If you like or you follow me on Twitter, follow him on Twitter, and follow Marseille Inc. on Twitter, and then retweet that tweet, you're entered to win this. It ships internationally directly from them. Just a free giveaway tonight, guys. So let's come up with some questions here. What you got, son?
All right, let's see. So at Rerez on the chat, so you can send me the questions.
Yeah, I guess that's how we're doing it tonight. We have a PayPal donation from. Oh, he just said don't say his name. Don't mention my name. My question for both of you: your thoughts currently on Xbox Game Pass coming to Nintendo Switch? Is it getting into the Japanese market or something else? My opinion, by the way, thank you for the donation. My opinion is that Microsoft has never seen the handheld space as competition. This actually isn't the first time that they've actually worked together. Like, they allowed Rare to make games all the way back on GBA.
Yeah.
So like Microsoft has never had an issue with that. They allowed, I think it was, I don't know if Conquer Pocket Tales came out around that same time for Game Boy Color, but like they have a history of kind of being okay with letting Nintendo do stuff as long as it's handheld. And I think they perceive the Switch as more of a handheld. Because what was that stat you said about how many people use the Switch docked versus not docked?
Most people that use the Switch docked, or sorry, the majority of people that. The percentage is 20% of people use the Switch dock, so the rest are just walking around with it. So it's not even really a competition for Microsoft.
Yeah, so they don't consider it legitimate competition, which is actually in a lot of ways good because they both have a mutual enemy in Sony, and they both, can basically help each other. Like, I don't think the motivation is for Microsoft to have a bigger hand in the Japanese market, but I got to admit, if that's part of it, that's a good strategy because there's no reason for Microsoft to make another console for Japan. There just isn't. So what you could do is arguably integrate the Xbox brand into a digital service through Nintendo platforms for those in the Japanese market that actually care. But odds are that's going to be kind of their way of bowing out. Holy shit, Sega joins us. Sega's in the chat.
Oh,
everybody.
wow.
What up? I'm pretty sure. Can I say who it is? Because I'm pretty sure I know who it is. You say it if it's okay, dude. And I will give you a full shout out. So yeah, my boys over at Sega. Much love. And yes, they are the ones who gave me this hoodie.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at, do you like Godfather Part 1 and 2?
Wait, the movies?
The movies, I think, yeah.
I'm not going to lie. They've never been my favorites.
First one is really good. I thought the second one was
You
impressive.
didn't answer their question about Switch and Xbox.
Oh! Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, okay, let me tell you, I believe it would be a smart move for Microsoft to support Nintendo, and I do not believe it would harm them. I don't think it's going to be an issue. We've seen them kind of work together on tiny things, even after the GBA. I mean, look, Minecraft is being released on Switch, is being released on PlayStation 4. It's not like Microsoft is against this kind of stuff, so I think that they're capable of doing this. So, yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. I think they're going to do it. I think it's going to be something that happens, and I think it's going to be fairly successful for them.
By the way, guys, just because Sega's in there, don't blast them about what kind of games to release. I promise you that doesn't help your cause.
Let's see. Oh yeah, so Godfather Part 1 and 2.
I've seen them, but it's been a long time, and I maybe I need to rewatch them more as an adult because I think the last time I watched them was like high school age, and I just wasn't a huge fan.
So Godfather 1 is a really good movie. Godfather 2 plays up on the characters that were presented in the first one and shows this kind of this fall of the main character from the first movie. 3 is weird. 3 has a lot of strange moving parts in it. I think the ending is pretty solid, but a lot of the other pieces don't really fit that well. Godfather 1 is most people consider to be like the perfect film.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, so
that's even a joke in Family Guy. Like, they're about to die, and Peter's admits that he doesn't like Godfather, and they all spend their final minutes just talking about why. Or that was the joke.
What is your opinion on THQ Nordic buying IPs and studios all over the place?
I don't know if I have a whole lot of opinion on that. I do like the idea that, to an extent, one of the consequences of doing that is how we got a bunch of their games on Xbox One. Was that process? So I've seen, positives from that, but beyond that, I haven't really delved into what the consequences of that necessarily are.
Shane, did you dust off all that chocolate from last time? Yes.
Dude, he crushed it.
Yep. I had help, but still.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I planned for you and for Robin.
It's a smart move.
Yeah, it is.
Microsoft made some DS games too, Age of Empires, and almost made a Halo game for the DS. That is true.
There you go. So,
Yeah.
they have a functional relationship as long as they're not within the same arena. And I guess this, in a sense, almost confirms Nintendo's position that they are more of a handheld device as opposed to a home console. And you know, I've seen a lot of people throwing out there that maybe Nintendo just needs to bail on their own lives or equivalency of live service because they clearly can't do it right. Just that's the trade-off. Like, you know, just work together and yeah, who knows?
Will the Xbox One digital console flop? So do you know about this?
I've heard about the concept of maybe there being up to 4 versions of this
Yeah.
thing.
So the rumors right now state that there's going to be 2 different Xboxes. One is going to be based on everything the Xbox One X is, and the other one's going to be a little bit cheaper, and it's not going to have a disc drive in it. So it's going to be more of a digital system.
You've only heard 2? I've heard 4.
There could be multiple.
But we don't
variations
know.
of it.
Obviously,
Yeah.
we don't know.
Yeah. I think it'd be a success as long as there's a library of games there that people are going to get into, and I think that's the big problem right now. If there isn't a library of games that people want, people will not buy the box. If they just release another Xbox and they do exactly what they did with the Xbox One, there is no chance. Like, there's just nothing that they can do to build on top of that. So they have to start introducing a bunch of new games. I do believe that's why they purchased all these companies recently, to build a huge catalog, to entice people and go, here's what our next pieces are, here's the next move. So
Do me a favor. I'm gonna do something really cool right now. Go up to Sega's comment. Dude, if you're watching, I don't know if you're still watching, you might have just tuned out. Find him. We're gonna make Sega an admin of my channel.
I don't think I can do
Yeah, you
that.
can do that, right? Oh, wait, you probably can't.
Yeah.
All right, hang on 1 second. I am going to make Sega an admin of my channel. You entertain the troops.
Okay. So what do you guys like?
Hey, how you doing?
Catherine Classic on PC. I haven't played that one yet.
It actually won't let me do that.
That's my.
Well, that's because I'm still on your dirt.
Yeah.
Do it.
Let me see. We didn't stop by ANC Games this time around, unfortunately.
Well, I'm hearing myself.
Just pause that. Yeah, we might be going to ANC Games maybe Monday. We don't know yet, but yeah, we just didn't go this time around.
Sega Europe is now a moderator for my channel.
Okay, good question. Will Google streaming service have any chance in this market? It is rumored in March that they're going to be releasing a brand new video game console.
I'm sorry, what?
In March, it
Yes.
is rumored that Google is going to be releasing a brand new video game console that is totally focused on streaming and will not have any physical software. That is the rumor.
Okay.
Although we do know that they're going to be showing off something in March. That we
Okay.
know for sure.
Well, we'll see. I mean, Google has a history of doing a lot that's both really successful and both a lot of flopping.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's really space for them in the video game market.
Well, like I actually, I don't want to be a jerk about this. I really don't. But
Don't You be honest, man.
no, they're likely not going to have success. What games do they have?
Sega Europe says moderator is too much power.
Yeah, don't abuse it, Sega
Yeah,
Europe.
come
Don't
on,
don't be
Sega.
that guy. Don't be
Yeah,
that brother.
you gotta be cool like the other admins.
I mean, look, I gotta
Like
be honest.
Giovanna never attacks anybody.
I gotta be honest. The concept of having a brand new Google video game system, and I know people are scared, right? I get it. But I love the idea of more companies out there making more video games. The problem is I do not believe they're going to make a video game. Rant time, folks.
Damn, he's getting serious. This is gonna be good. Get the popcorn, everybody. Or your KitKats, whatever you got.
KitKats, whatever. Here's how this is going to play out. In the next couple of years, what you're going to be seeing is what's called the content wars. It's no longer about the hardware. It's about what people actually want to consume. This is going to exist from movies, music, and video games. Essentially, what's going to happen in the next, I literally want to say, 2 to 3 years, is some of the biggest companies in the world are going to transition from manufacturing hardware because they're reaching kind of this static peak where they can't move forward to kind of making content libraries where they hold a lot of rights in digital ownership of things. Disney is getting into that right now. Fox has been doing it. Netflix is trying to purchase all this content left
Dude,
and right as
Netflix
fast
is
as they
going
can.
nuts. Where are they
Yeah.
getting this money? I mean, obviously they're successful, but damn.
All these investors know the next thing that happens, so they're investing in the company and giving them all this funding to purchase these things so that they can own it, so they can have this foothold in the next future steps. Apple has already been rumored to reporting transitioning from hardware major development to content ownership by creating their own video streaming service. This is a very big thing that is actually happening every single moment that passes. The idea is you as the consumer are no longer going to be able to just buy one streaming service. You're going to have to buy 4 or 5. And the idea at that point is you're fighting, all these companies are fighting for the best content. This is great because all these companies are going to fight over price. They're going to fight over content. So there's constantly going to be this battle there. See, imagine how it is right now with the video game industry where we have 3 major video game consoles and they're kind of fighting over prices and what the games are on there. So the future is going to be, it doesn't matter what the hardware is, it's going to be the games as a service, as a streamable service, as a digital download service. So with that being said, how this works out is these companies have to be producing good content. Do you think Sega was in a bad space because they stopped making consoles?
I don't know. Ask him.
Sega's in the best
You're right
space.
there.
see, Sega's in the best space right now because they're not wasting money on making all these consoles. They're making games that people want. Look at Yakuza right now, right? People want that franchise in a big bad way. And that game is going to be able to live on these digital distribution platforms. It's going to have a huge impact when all these companies are trying to get that IP and put in a bunch of things. You don't understand. This sounds scary. This is so good for us because a game from the past no longer ages the way that it used to. An old game would go on store shelves and eventually would lose its value and get sold for pennies. But now with digital distribution, the actual game itself will be able to hold its value year over year over year, and they can actually take that and reestablish its value by getting a streaming service or a downloadable service to keep that content alive. No longer are games going to be just burnt away and wasted. They're going to live on the cloud forever, and we'll be able to play them wherever we go. So, Sega's in a good spot. Microsoft is already establishing themselves in the same exact spot by doing something very similar with their digital distribution services, which is most likely going to be available on the Switch. Sony is already establishing this, and Nintendo is attempting to do this right now with digital games and having a digital storefront as well. Google doesn't make games, so that's the problem. If they introduce a box that streams a batch of games, it doesn't matter because they didn't do anything better than anyone else. Even if they manage to make the games look amazing and perform amazing, they need to be able to establish the content. And a part of that is having exclusives on their platform that people are going to want to play. And I don't know if, I mean, look, there are some really smart people at Google right now, and I believe that they're trying to fight for that and get those developers there. But if Google's fight, and this is how it's going to work, it can go one or two ways, but it will go one of these two ways. They either don't show a library of content worth owning that is unique to them, or they are. If they do something that people want, it's going to be a super successful platform that everyone is going to be getting into. If they don't do it and they just show off games you can get anywhere else, it's going to bomb. That's it.
I probably should have warned you in advance. My audience is mostly into physical retro gaming.
Yeah.
So you just broke all their hearts.
I'm telling you
Mine
what the
too.
future is. Yeah, but I mean, like, it sucks, but
I
that's
know.
it. That's it. Okay, I'm gonna catch up on all of this. But that's pretty much it. It's the way things are gonna go. And look, I know it sucks, but I have a Steam account from day one, and my day one Steam account, no game disappeared. So I have all these games from the past, and like GOG.com, right? I'm downloading DRM-free packages of these games that I can store, and I can just go back and play them again and again. And it's awesome to have that ability to take those digital downloads and never have to worry about anything happening to them is a great thing. And we just need games to go in that position a lot more so that we can have more control over the data and the media so that we can just have the game survive. Look, a lot of the games that we saw just kind of die out was because no company owned them and no company was emulating them. But if the digital assets were live out there for people to take and keep alive, they could survive for years and years on end.
You got a super chat that I can't quite read.
Victor Cesaris says, Dan Trachtenberg can legitimize VG movies. Gamer and actually a great director. He directed 10 Cloverfield Lane and a Portal movie short. Yes, he did. He was a part of a series on YouTube called, he was with 3 other guys, Alex Albrecht and... forget the guy's name. Anyway, he is a very good director. I do believe that he has the ability to kind of transition that stuff, but we'll see what happens.
Thank you very much for the super chat. That's excellent input. That it's going back too because we talked about that like a half hour ago, so I appreciate that. But you're absolutely right. Upcoming Godzilla movie? Yeah, I want to see that.
What if Sega pulls Shenmue 3 to just be a digital release? I don't think that's going to happen. They sold physical copies, so it'd be weird
Plus,
for them to do
Sega,
that.
first of all, is in the chat. You can ask them. Secondly, they have nothing to do with that game.
Yeah.
So, in other words, no.
I don't want to pay a sub fee every month, right? And I think that's the fear. But it's like it's not always going to be that way. There's going to be digital libraries where you can download the things like how Google Video exists right now, or Google Play Store, or whatever. You can just download individual things that you want instead of having to pay months and months on end. But for some, understand, in some instances, it might be beneficial. Do you want to watch the entire series of, let's just say, The Office right now, or Friends? Would you go and buy every individual season right now, or would you pay for a month of streaming on Netflix and pay a considerably smaller amount and watch the entire series in one go, right?
We got a donation from Kyrick, who says, just wanted to donate a little and say how awesome y'all are. Wanted to thank Shane for his SN30 Pro controller. Got one recently and it's great. And thank Adam for just making awesome videos. And same to Shane. Stay awesome, dudes. Well, thank you very much
Yeah,
for
thank
the
you.
donation. Much appreciated.
I'm glad you like that controller. It's a really fun one.
So if you guys want to do that, again, Super Chat, PayPal information's in the description. Super Chat, obviously, just a click thing. You don't have to do it. We're just saying you can.
Ooh. Tetris 99 is the bomb, Sega Europe. I've been playing that like a fiend.
He did. Last night, he was crushing it, man. It was actually kind of intimidating.
I play it probably once a day now. It's just fun to play. And I like Tetris. I've liked it for years, so it's not like I'm addicted to a new game. I've always been addicted to Tetris, so yeah. Of the big three, Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox, who is the most ready for the future of gaming? I know this one already.
You gotta say Xbox.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it depends. It's not the future you necessarily want, but it is the future.
Yeah, it's hands down. Xbox has the best ideas for future game development, for distribution. Look, I understand that it's fun to kind of crap on them right now because they're not the leaders in the market right now as they used to be.
But here's the thing, and I've heard this is historically valid. When you're a loser in a generation, but you still have to ride it out, you spend most of that time making your product and your brand better and working for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
I will promise you, the retro gamer in me wants physical media, so I hope that's still true with the next iteration. But I promise you, if it has it, that's going to be like the best console that generation. So far, what Sony has going for them is the whole backwards compatibility thing, if that's true. And that's really awesome.
Yeah.
Like, if that's actually true. But, like, from every other standpoint, it seems like the Xbox is going to be the way to go.
Yeah. Oh, actually, just because Sega Europe is in the channel. Right now, a great example of digital distribution is getting Yakuza Kiwami, right? Yakuza Kiwami is on Steam right now. If you're limited in the way that you can play that on consoles, you can play Yakuza Kiwami on your PC at like massive high resolutions, uncapped frame rates. You can add AA and like all these really great ways to make the game look even better. I haven't played the latest one on Steam, but like there's all these great games that you can do. Okay, in the past, like digital distribution has so many benefits. In the past, if you were to play one Sega Genesis game, it would cost you so much to do it. But now you can get the Sega Genesis collection on the Switch, take it with you anywhere you go. You have filter options, gameplay options. You can play them online with people. You have so many different features and abilities. You also have instant save state support that you never had in the past, and it's in one package. A lot of people act like, oh, well, the NES Classic exists and the SNES Classic exists. Sega doesn't really have anything like that. No, Sega made Generations and made it better for everyone because you can play that on any platform. They gave that to everybody. It's stuff like that I love.
To be fair, there is a Mega Drive / Genesis Classic coming.
I know.
That's
but
not a secret, everybody. That was announced last
year.
year.
I know. But it's like that kind of stuff I just love, right? Yep. Like Sega. It's funny if you included Sega in that conversation we just had about the three, I say Sega's in a very good position because they've been like getting a lot of good stuff out there on Steam and going to a bunch of different platforms.
Hey, and we would say this without them being in the chat right now. They are really doing a lot to revamp their image.
Yeah.
A lot. And they're doing
a
lot
doubt.
better. They're actually they're listening to the fans so much that they're hanging out with you in the chat right now. Who the hell else would be doing that?
I was okay, so I had a friend tell me about Yakuza 0.
Yeah.
And he was like, just pick it up.
Yakuza 0 is like awesome as hell.
I didn't think I was gonna beat it because I thought I'm gonna spend I'm gonna spend an hour playing it, enjoy what I play, and that's it. I ended up sitting there every single day and playing through the entire game, and that made me hungry for the series as a whole. It's these things make so many good choices for things. So Sega Europe just said Sega Ages is the other option, allows you to play the games with never before seen features. Sonic 1 with Dash, for example, great example.
To be fair, I hate to bash that example a little bit, but that's how you know I'm unbiased. That feature existed in the Sonic Jam version of Sonic 1.
That's true.
And I think there was a Game Boy Advance version that had it too.
Yeah.
But he's not wrong, because the
But where do
majority
you get the
of
Sonic
versions
Jam
don't-
version, right?
Yeah, exactly. The majority of versions don't have that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, look, folks, if you've never played the Sega Ages version of Sonic the Hedgehog or the Sega Jam version, you didn't play a good version of Sonic the Hedgehog. It's better with the Dash.
We are in the unpopular group for that one, but I agree with him. Sonic 1 without Spin Dash is just not
just
as good.
moves
It's so
faster.
much
Yeah.
better. It's like an integral feature of a Sonic game.
But you still have the ability to turn it off in the Sega Ages version, right? Like that stuff's
yeah,
important.
I don't think you can turn it off in the Sonic Jam version.
You cannot because it's just one version.
Yep.
So yeah, it actually does matter that way. Yakuza 0 is my one of my favorite single player games of all time. Yeah, if you have not played Yakuza 0, by the way, it is one of the best RPGs. Would you consider that an RPG?
I don't know what I would consider it.
No, I don't know if it's that.
It's an RPG in the same way Shenmue is an RPG. Like
It's a free.
yeah,
It's
a
one of the
free-
best
it's a
free
It's one of the
games,
best
yeah.
FREE games.
Yeah. It really is. It stands out. But yeah, Xbox is set themselves up for such a great next generation,
Yeah.
and I don't believe anyone has really understood the scope of which they're going to be doing things. If they do it right, if they play their cards the way they should be, the way I've been seeing Xbox set up their company, because you were talking about how we saw Microsoft screw up, and then now they're trying to rebrand their image, fix themselves, and they're in this, and we see this constant state. The PlayStation 3 was in for hard times.
Same
and
exact
Sony,
thing.
And Sony was doing so good for a while. Then they made the PlayStation 4, and they started getting very
They did
arrogant.
everything right, and Microsoft did exactly the opposite. They're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, 360 is really successful. Let's fuck up the Xbox One because we were arrogant." It happens all the time.
I don't think that's going to happen for the next round. And let me be very specific. What happens next generation is all these companies.
Dude,
Oh,
Sega Europe is going to donate to the stream in a sense. They're giving away 5 Yakuza Kiwami PC copies to give away. Shane and Adam, do your thing. All right, here's how we're going to do this.
okay.
Because we have another giveaway tonight. Go to the.
You're getting a game I don't even have yet. This is amazing. Okay.
Yeah,
there you go.
okay. I told you I love my boys over at Sega. So here's the thing. There's a Twitter link in the description of this video. Go there. Follow him, follow me, follow Marseille Inc. You are entered to win this.
So that's Twitter.
Yeah, the link's in the description. You can
RerezTV.
win an M cable, and now we're also going to give away 5 copies of Yakuza Kiwami on PC.
That's happening
Compliments
now.
of Sega. Do them a solid too. Go follow Sega, just because that's a nice thing. It's not technically required, but go follow them, retweet that tweet, follow all 3 of those parties, and follow Sega. Follow Sega Europe. They're obviously awesome guys. They just entered here, hung out with you guys, and then it's like, you know what? Screw it. We're gonna give away Yakuza Kiwami codes.
Sega Europe or just Sega?
Sega, both, dude, both. Sega Europe, Sega regular, Sega Global, I believe is what you refer to as.
Sega Global.
Yeah, it's just Sega.
Okay, so I'm going to throw down the first link here. This is just so that we can actually follow you guys, everybody, so that we can know where you are. So
To Sega, I know you're listening. I don't know if you can actually retweet that tweet, but if you can, please do.
okay,
You can attach I don't know if you're allowed to do this, but attach like a thing about, hey, we're giving away codes of Yakuza Kiwami as well, if you're allowed to do that. Shane, we will DM you.
thank you very much, Sega Europe.
Yeah, I know who that is. One of the coolest dudes. One of the coolest dudes. Very good friend.
Right, so here's Twitter. Look, you keep asking stuff.
Sorry, I'm trying to get you guys stuff, man. You guys can win stuff, free stuff. All you gotta do is some tweets. It's not that hard.
Okay, and we got
Let's go
Sega
take a look.
Europe. Sega Europe Twitter.
Yeah, make sure you follow Sega Europe, Sega Global, Marseille Inc., Rerez, and me on Twitter. Find that tweet, retweet it. Make sure you follow those guys.
I gotta see how to spell that.
Marseille, MARSEILLEINC. I'm not French. You're the Canadian.
Yeah, but like that's French. That's not Canadian French. Those are very different things. I hope you realize that.
It's fine, Adam. You can say e-ho. What the fuck? Am I reading that wrong? I think it might be. Yeah, he's saying oh. He says e-h-o. What the fuck does that mean? Sorry, dude. I'm not sure what you're talking about there.
Okay, and Sega, just Sega Worldwide, was it?
Sega Global. Yeah, it's the first one. Just
Sega.
when you go say, yeah, that first one. There again. There's a link in the description of this video, everybody. I linked a tweet. Go to that tweet. Follow myself. Follow Marseille Inc. Follow Rerez. Please also follow Sega because that's just a nice thing to do. And retweet that tweet. And if you do all that, you are entered to win not only a copy of Yakuza Kiwami on PC, compliments of Sega.
Is it retweet the tweet?
Retweet the tweet that I made. But
Okay.
make sure you follow all those parties. And then you can also win an M cable, which is an awesome piece of tech for retro gaming, specifically if you're using the GameCube with like the GCHD or the Dreamcast, like Sega's Dreamcast with the Gecko. It's ridiculous how much nicer it looks. And they will ship it to you for free. You're just entered to do that.
It's nice to do these streams and give away a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of which, if you are in Los Angeles, there is a Shenmue meetup thing.
Castlemania Ryan says I'd be up for tossing some of the new licensed Sega controllers into this.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah.
Which ones?
This is getting nuts.
Dude, I know cool ass people. All right, we're gonna add to that.
Okay. Well, now we have to follow Castlemania
Go
Games.
follow
Ryan.
Castlemania
Okay,
Games.
let's get Ryan in on this.
Ryan, talk to us. Which controllers are you talking about? Specifically
Okay.
the Genesis ones or what?
Okay, Ryan, which one? Castlemania Games, Ryan? Is that's the main one?
Castlemania
Yeah,
Ryan.
yeah. Okay. So follow up. Okay. By the way, I just want to say this because I've covered products from Castlemania Ryan in the past.
So have I.
He sent in stuff on the show. Amazing things. The GCHD is one of the greatest devices
And
we've
when
ever
you use
looked
it
at.
with this thing,
Yeah.
it takes the GameCube to a next generation. It's ridiculous, provided the game supports progressive scan.
This is getting pretty crazy. Okay, so Ryan, you're talking about the brand new Retrobit Sega Genesis controllers. Okay, dude, this is crazy. These are official Sega Genesis controllers being made right now.
And you can ask Sega because again, they're in the chat.
Yeah. So these are like legitimate brand new ones. I haven't got my hands on them quite yet, but I've heard a lot of great things about them. You've actually used them in person. You've actually held them.
I've held them, but I held the like prototype ones.
Yeah.
So I don't want to judge it on that basis.
Okay, true story. 2 years ago, I was looking at a product that Retrobit made, and the controller they included I really liked. And one of the things I said about the controller was, I just wish the mode button at the top was underneath the start button, and there was 2 triggers on the left and right. So they did that. They did what I said in the video, and Retrobit has actually made the controller I dreamed about 2 years ago. So that's what this is. It's Sega Genesis controllers with more features, and they work on the original systems, or there's a USB model, so it's crazy.
Ryan says he'll give away 5 of the Genesis controllers. So
This is getting nuts.
this is how this can work. This is how it's going to work. There will be one winner that gets an M cable, a Genesis controller, and a Yakuza Kiwami code. And then 4 winners that get a Genesis controller and a Yakuza Kiwami code for PC.
Okay.
So we have a total of 5 winners. There's 1 grand prize and then 4 sub prizes. But you got to follow Castlemania Ryan on Twitter. You have to follow Sega Europe on Twitter. You have to follow Rerez on Twitter, Marseille Inc. on Twitter, and me on Twitter. And then retweet the tweet that's in the description. I know it's complicated. We didn't expect it to be this big.
It's getting big. It's getting big,
We didn't
folks.
expect that. We're sorry. But good prizes tonight, considering there was no expectation of that.
Adam, what? This is from Zmod. He
Super
donated.
chat, thank you.
Donated $5. Adam, what SCART switch do you recommend? I just bought the FrameMeister and I'm in the process of rebuilding my setup.
Easy answer. The Bandrich.
Ooh.
It's got an eagle on it, so you'll know it's good. It's got an American eagle, but it comes from Europe. Funny enough, I got it here in Canada.
The controllers don't come out until early April.
As long as you guys are willing to wait,
Yeah.
obviously. But you'll provide once the winners are selected. Shipping info will be provided to Ryan, and he'll take care of that.
Yeah.
But you
It's
gotta-
like a prize that comes out down the line.
Yeah,
Like
it's
you'll
like
know.
a Jelly of the Month club, except only one of the months, and it's away from now.
Jelly of the Month Club. That's a thing.
Thank you.
Okay, Sega Europe asked me, how high does your blood pressure get shooting the worst console ever videos?
Show him what you got.
Okay, so
he
here's
wasn't
what
here
happened.
earlier.
We were at the swap. So I went and picked up the original worst console ever. This is the Wireless 60. This is a white variant. There are 2. There's the black and white. And I was just talking with my team, and I think we might recover this and look at it again because it's been years later, and I think it might be fun to revisit it. But yeah, high blood pressure. So most recently in the series, we were looking at. I don't know how many people out there know about this, but there's a young man named Soulja Boy who is a quite popular musician, and he made a bunch of video game. I guess like consoles, but he didn't actually make them. He ordered them from a website and placed his own name on them. I do not fault him for this. He was just being a businessman. Not a big deal. There are resellers out there. That's a good part of the industry, having people resell products. The problem is he didn't know that they were illegal. So, look, I know it gets a little bit weird, but when I hate piracy when it's legitimately selling somebody something that's stolen. That's not okay. And these consoles had a whole bunch of stolen games from Nintendo, from Sega, from Neo Geo, from SNK, from all these companies that had no idea their games were being ripped off. But the worst part is not only are they being ripped off and sold, but they're running worse than how they normally run. Yep. So for me, if somebody's like, I just want to play like a couple of classic Genesis games, I'll say, like get the Genesis collection on Switch or whatever, right? Because it's a very legitimate, easy way to do it, and the games run great. But you're seeing these systems out here that don't run any of the games properly. So what Sega of Europe probably doesn't realize is that when I look at those systems, I play every single game, and you can't stop.
It's true,
you have to
dude.
keep playing
It's
them.
true,
Yeah.
he does. I've seen him do it. It's like, dude,
Because you have to.
for a guy
have
who
to.
doesn't drink coffee, that's tough.
It's a bad thing.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is. But yeah.
Sorry. Before all of this craziness, we were. I was talking about the LA meetup because Sega's in here. Next week, for Shenmue, there's going to be a fan meetup with Corey Marshall. He's the voice of Ryo in Shenmue. Lisa Wilkerson, she was Joy and Shu Ying, and Yuan from Shenmue 2. As well as myself, are going to be at a place called Game Realms in Burbank, which is just outside of Los Angeles. It's a fan meetup, free to enter at a game store, and there's going to be Q&A. There's going to be a live show. There's going to be signings, photograph opportunities with all of them, signatures, all that kind of stuff. There's going to be giveaways, actually, Sega is going to give some stuff away. Marseille Inc. also cooperated. They're going to give some stuff away. There's going to be M cables on site to give away as well as on stream in case you can't make it. So if you are going to be in Los Angeles or anywhere around there, come on by. Or if you just want to watch that stream, which I believe will go up on Game Realms' Twitch and possibly other mediums. I'm not sure I can say yet. But at least through that. But you keep an eye out. I'll tweet about it. So that's another thing. Go to the Twitter. I'm serious. Go to that tweet in the description, because if you do that, again, follow me, follow him, follow Sega, follow Castlemania Ryan, and follow this, and retweet that tweet, and you are entered to win a Yakuza Kiwami PC code, compliments of Sega, Retrobit Sega Genesis controller, compliments of Castlemania Games, and an M cable.
Okay.
Compliments of Marseille.
So just to explain what this thing is, because I don't think a lot of people
Yeah,
know.
go for it, man.
Okay. This sounded like snake oil to me the first time I heard about it. Like it's just fake. So
Same too. Yeah.
Adam literally brought this to the house. We plugged it up and we put one of the systems that does 480p output, so standard definition.
Like Dreamcast or GameCube, but with like a GCHD, which you can get from Castlemania Ryan.
So
or the Bahar Rose Gecko stuff.
So this cable right here in the larger part literally has an image processor built into it. That's why there's a USB cable, because you have to plug it up, and it cleans the signal that comes out of 480p, and it actually removes jagged lines. It smooths them out, and not in a dumb way. It's a very smart method in which they did it. So if you're playing older games and you want them to just look a little bit sharper, that's what this thing does. And it's not a joke. It literally does it. But by all intents and purposes, you don't expect a cable to do this, but it does. It's insane. And yeah, get one for free in this thing.
Yeah, you could potentially get one for free. Also, Castlemania says he will ship international. No problem. Same with Marseille. They'll ship it international, so it doesn't matter if you're not an American. Shit, we're doing this in Canada. It doesn't matter if it's international. Trust me. And Giovanna provided the link to the tweet. You guys go ahead and click on that. Retweet, follow. I know we keep pushing this, but dude, I wasn't expecting this many free things to be able to give away. I want to make sure you guys get some cool stuff. And we're going to do this more in Los Angeles as well, so do it. If you can.
A whole bunch of things. So more questions, everybody. Ask away. What other questions do you have? Love is in the air. Okay, Progressive G did make a good point. 480p is not standard definition. It's enhanced definition.
Technically, yes.
Because it's progressive. That is correct, yes. Yes, we are
Well,
not.
by that definition, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't 240p qualify as enhanced while 480i doesn't? Under that definition?
No, because that's underneath, because it's
So
underneath
there's just
the
a
double frames.
ceiling,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. There's a ceiling. I wouldn't say that.
Well, it's just because you said because it was progressive, as if that was the definition.
Yeah. Will the M cable work on the output of an HDMI switch? That's how we tested the 480p, because the switch has the ability to do 480p out. And so what I did was we were running Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
And I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna do it. We were in Mario Kart 8. You can select Link. So I selected Link. Go to 480p mode. And you can actually see all the jaggies on Link because Link is kind of cell shaded in that game. So when you throw this cable on, it like smooths it all out. So it just looks perfect. It's really crazy, but it does work.
What's the name of the game store in Burbank? It's called Game Realms. Look through my Twitter because there's a whole thing about like what the times are, where you have to go, all that stuff. But Game Realms is where it's going to be in Burbank. And oh, by the way, somebody asked like what was the theme we were going for with the thumbnail? Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah,
That's
that's what we're going for. Yeah. I think we did a good job. I don't know.
I think
What do
so.
you
Well, you did a good job. I didn't do shit. I just posed for that photo.
So yeah, more questions, folks.
Yeah, by all means. Again, you can donate if you want to. You don't have to, but you'll get instant questions.
Sega Europe says a good question. Question on behalf of the European fans: does M Cable support European 576i modes?
It will function. Yes, it's yes. I don't know what benefits it has specifically to that because generally the M cable doesn't do much with interlaced content. 576p would probably handle better. But I mean, it's Marseille Inc. It's originally French. They handle PAL stuff.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, in Europe they have different video standards, or at least they did. Now they really don't anymore because we're all kind of on the same high definition, 720p, 1080p, 4K resolutions. But at the time in the 90s, there was different things. This also makes a difference when you're actually going to go to play older video games from Europe. Sometimes they run a little bit faster or slower, or they're just different altogether.
Because of different frame rates.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to throw something out there. Sega Europe, you're in for a treat. It's funny that you're in there. I actually had them send you a unit.
Oh.
Yeah, I asked them if they would send you guys a unit. So.
Okay, should be live. See if it's back up.
You were right about that recent thing when we went live for 2 seconds. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know if the video's still working though.
We'll just ask.
But yeah, can you guys still hear us? Is this a thing? Yeah.
So we're back.
We're back. Okay, go sit down. I gotta fix. There's something I gotta fix. You go sit down.
All right. Sorry, everybody. There's an ice storm here, so kind of internet died there. Ontario lost the internet. Yes, that is true. Okay. Yep, we're back on. We're good. Yeah, sorry. There's just ice in Canada, as you could probably imagine.
Just keep going. I gotta fix something.
All right, sorry about that, folks. Yeah. So, yeah. I guess other things to note about what we've been talking about tonight. I guess like a really good thing to keep in mind about like these next console generations that are going to be coming out is a very big focus on digital. But I think honestly, if I had to pick any of the three, I think Nintendo is going to keep trying to focus on making digital or physical copies of their games, more or less for the necessity, because they're still a very Japanese-focused company, where I think Sony's more will. See if they can see us.
Yeah, the it's still working in my phone.
You're gonna have to pick winners now, because it is.
Well, no. We'll have to. I have to figure that out later because I have to look at the tweets. I'm just saying the contest will close.
Okay. Okay, we're back.
We're back.
Yep.
Hi, everybody. We got a super chat there. See if we can get that. So, obviously, the internet, we're going to do this as fast as possible. Obviously, the internet is completely terrible. So, we apologize if it goes out again. We may not be able to fix this. I don't know. We're trying, but we're at the mercy of Canadian weather.
Yeah, there's actually there's literally a storm going on outside right now.
Yeah, so we have no control over it. So, we're sorry. If it completely fails, I guess that'll just be the end of the show. I hope that doesn't happen. We want to answer that super chat as soon as possible. And make sure to enter the contest. Please go to the Twitter. It's in the description. Follow him, Rerez. Follow me, Adam. Follow Marseille Inc. Follow Castlevania Games. Follow Sega Europe or Sega Global. And you can win an M cable. One person will win an M cable plus a Yakuza Kiwami PC code plus Sega Genesis Retrobit controllers from Castlevania Games. And then 4 people will win Kiwami codes and Retrobit controllers.
Okay, Zmod asks, I just picked up a Philips Magnavox CDI 450. Any game recommendations?
There's no like really good games on that console. But I guess the ones to actually own just to own sake is the Unholy Triforce Zelda games and Hotel Mario. But like actually good content, not really. And there's not most of the thing with that console is it was like a lot of things and a video game system was like 6th on that list. So most of it's just like media entertainment and like educational stuff. So there's not a whole lot of like super like playable games, unfortunately. But thank you for the super chat. I know that's not the best answer, but get those 4 games just to have, basically.
Let me see. Do you think Japanese audiences keep buying more physical copies, thus Nintendo will keep releasing? Give it 2 seconds.
Yep, there it goes.
You gotta end this. It's not gonna.
Yeah, guys, this is just gonna keep getting worse. Let's finish this story, and then hopefully that'll do it. So what I was saying is Sony has to care about the Japanese market, which in a way hinders them for the evolution of the tech. Because they have to have physical media, which I'm in favor of as someone who's of that mindset, but it does prevent them from being as successful as they might want to be in the future for the North American and European market.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I do believe that the physical is like the biggest deal for that market, but I think that many of the games that people want to play that will be ported on there are going to be digital, and if you want that hard copy, you got to go with a different system.